Welcome to Ask Iconic. This is our first Facebook Live video show.
And actually, my first Facebook Live video show.
Yeah. So, my name is Benson. I'm currently a grade 12 student here in the GTA. I'm one of our 2017 student ambassadors, and I'll be going to Western University next year for health science.
I'm Aaron. I'm Yconic's summer intern. I graduated from U of T a little while ago, actually, and now I'm at George Brown doing marketing. So if you've ever been to Yconic.com, you know that our forums are great to ask questions and answer questions, and they really give you an insight into student life and the choices that you make just prior and during university. Tonight we're actually going to be bringing all those questions and our forum to life, so we're going to be answering questions directly from our forum from you people.
Yep, and if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to comment below, and we'll also be giving out 3 Starbucks gift cards for your participation, so remember to participate in the comments below. Let's get started.
So we'll start with the first question. It's about Yconic. This person asked, I just have a few questions regarding scholarships on Yconic. This may seem dumb, but is this legit? I want the inside scoop on what's going on here. So it's a great question. Yconic is absolutely legit. We've been around since 1998, so we're going around our 20-year anniversary. So basically what Yconic does is offers its members free matching to scholarships all across Canada, as well as exclusive contests and other scholarships that you can only get through Yconic. So if you're interested, Yconic.com is the place to go. All you have to do is visit the site, fill out some information about yourself, your interests, and your education, and then Yconic.com will actually generate a list for you of scholarships that you're eligible to apply for based on the things that you've inputted. So some scholarships are Yconic scholarships where you are able to apply right on the site, so there's no need to go anywhere else. Some other scholarships require you to go to another site in order to fill out more information or write an essay that explains your situation. So Benson, you've actually used Yconic.com quite a bit. Do you want to give your take on it?
Yeah, sure. So I'm in grade 12, and scholarships is a big part of my student life, right? Before, there's a lot of scholarships out there. Some of them are applicable to you, some of them aren't applicable to you, and this is all based on your demographic. So instead of going online to search for all of them, what Yconic does is it helps you narrow down everything and eliminate the ones that are not applicable to you, and therefore it saves you a lot of time. I remember when I was using it back in September, and I still use it right now. It's very effective, and I highly recommend it.
It's an excellent resource. Please check it out.
Yep. So our second question comes from a user asking about scholarships and Osap. They posted, I'll be getting $4,000 in entrance scholarships and $4,000 in external scholarships. My family makes below $50,000 a year. Would I receive less OSAP? Would I still qualify for free tuition? So according to the OSAP website, if your gross income is below $50,000, you are eligible for free tuition. That being said, scholarships, external and entrance scholarships, should be declared as your income. And we have a list, or I should say OSAP has their list of what you can declare and what you can't declare. We'll be posting that link and that resource in the forum, so remember to check it out after the live show. So with your 4,000 entrance scholarships and 4,000 external scholarships, all of that will be part of your declared income. And each university has their own policy on how they declare that. Some universities will do it automatically for you. Some of them will tell you to declare it by yourself through your OSAP form. So I highly recommend that you check with your specific university to see their specific policies about entrance scholarships and OSAP and declaring your income.
It's a great question, great advice. So our next question is from an unknown source. Do you think it's okay to let your marks slide after midterms if it won't impact your scholarships? I know some people have a pride thing with their marks, but if having them slip a little won't change your acceptances or scholarships, is it basically fine? Now, I understand completely by the end of high school you're anxious to leave, but from personal experience I can tell you, stick it through right to the end. You're in the home stretch of finishing, and definitely see it through all the way to the end. I am guilty of a little bit of slacking. I'm sure everyone has that mentality, but try to push through all the way to the end, if nothing else to give you a jump on university, because it is a difficult time, a difficult turning over point. But if you stick with it, you'll be fine. We want to hear what you guys think. So, do you have a good experience or a bad experience about studying or lack of studying? Please comment below or comment in our forum. Benson, do you have anything to add about that?
Well, yeah. So the important thing is scholarships, right? will you lose a conditional? Most people don't, but with their scholarships, there's different tier systems. So you want to make sure that you get as much as you can. So even if you drop a couple percent below, it might make a big impact on how much you get. It might be $1,000, might be $500, but all that can be used for tuition next year. And it's best that you spend the next 3 or 4 weeks working hard as you have done for the last couple of months, and it'll all pay off in the end. So I highly recommend that
every little bit helps for sure.
Stay off senioritis for now. Yeah. So our next question comes about from a user asking about extracurriculars. What are some good extracurriculars I should consider? I'm in grade 11 right now, and all I've done is play volleyball and basketball each year of high school. I have 1 year to do something special, and here's my advice. With 1 year left, you want to be doing something that you enjoy. This is your last year of high school, and you can either join a club at school or go into the community and volunteer. Since you're really active in school, I do recommend go into the community and finish your 40 hours because that's a requirement for you to graduate. So a lot of not-for-profits out there are looking for students, during the summer, during the school year. Some examples would be, working at the food bank, working at the hospital, and that's something I do myself and I really enjoy. And, working 2 hours, 3 hours a week seems like nothing, but after, an entire semester or 2 semesters, your 40 hours will be, easily finished.
Yeah, that's great advice. And also, if you have an idea for a club that's not actually operating at your school, take that initiative, set up a club yourself. I can tell you that looks great on a resume and great on a university application. So a lot of good things to think about there for sure.
Oh yeah, and a lot of scholarship applications, are based on your involvement in the community in school. So I highly recommend you, you participate in extracurriculars and do something, special with your last year of high school. Are you in grade 12? If you are in grade 12 or in high school, do you have, special extracurriculars? If so, please share in the comments below. Remember that we're giving out 3 Starbucks gift cards, so your participation is highly appreciated.
I also want to say that that advice is also good for university. If a club doesn't exist at university and you wish it did, definitely take the initiative to do that. You're never short of stuff to put on a resume if you take the initiative. So our next question is about conditional offers. I know this applies to quite a few people. This will sound stupid. I doubt that. Nothing sounds stupid. I'm wondering how these work. I just received an offer for biological sciences, but I don't understand how exactly these conditional offers work. Like, if I meet the minimum competitive average, will I still be able to get in? My current average right now is 85, exactly on the mid-80s mark for the competitive advantage. So my advice would be, as long as you will be accepted as long as you maintain that average. So, like we said before, keep pushing right to the end. You're in the home stretch of high school, and it never looks bad to keep up your grades. Your conditional offer becomes accepted once your final grades are in. So you're not guaranteed if you have a conditional offer. Work hard right to the end, and it will pay off, I promise. Anything to add on that?
Yeah, so with a conditional offer, there's several parts to it. One of them is, your overall top 6 conditional. Another part is course-specific conditional. So if you're in the sciences, let's say, you might have to maintain a conditional specifically for biology or for chemistry, and that might be different from your conditional offer. So you want to make sure that you look at the package that the university sends you, and making sure that you meet each specific requirement, not just the overall average requirement for that program. So take a look at that. It's sent to you for a reason, and it's either sent to you online or sent to you via package in the mail. So take a look at that.
And again, comment below if you have anything to add on that, or if you have any additional questions or anything at all. Our forum or our comment section is the best place to do that.
Okay, so our next question comes from a user asking about nursing. I applied to nursing at McMaster University, and I got rejected, but I got accepted into social sciences. Congratulations. Nursing was my first choice, and I really still want to do it. But at this point, my options are either I do social sciences and then transfer to nursing during her second year, or go back to high school for a semester and upgrade my grades. So any advice on what I should do? Well, my sister is a nurse, so I know quite a bit about nursing. I just want to say that nursing programs across Ontario and across Canada are basically the same. At the end of the day, you'll be finishing a standardized test called the NCLEX-RN, which standardizes all nurses and making sure that they're able to serve in their community hospitals or whatnot. And you want to make sure that nursing at any university is the same. And McMaster, though, is a bit different in how they assess their nursing applicants. Not only do they use marks, but also the CASPER, which is another test. So your options are either to stay in high school and do it again, or transfer a second year. My recommendation is that you stay in high school and upgrade your marks, because a lot of nursing courses are nursing program specific for nursing students only. So if you transfer from second year to social science, you're essentially spending a year with courses that you're not going to plan on pursuing. So my recommendation is you stay in high school and apply to a lot of the nursing schools across Ontario and across Canada next year. Your other option is to do a compressed program after your 4 years of social science, and a lot of schools have that requirement or have that program both here in Ontario and across Canada, but you want to make sure that you have the prerequisites for that compressed program. And I advise you to take a look at the university website and about their specific rules.
Definitely get in touch with the universities to find out. Our next question comes from a student who will be attending York University this fall. Again, congratulations. I consider myself as an outgoing person and fun to be with, and I will be commuting from home in about an hour and 20 minutes. Do you think that I should commute or live on res? Now, I did both of those. Although I didn't live on res, I live very close to school. But I did commute from an hour and a bit to get to university, and my advice is don't worry about your social life too much. Your first week of university is going to be filled with meeting new people. You're going to meet a great group of people for sure, and that sort of comes around organically. So don't worry too much about that. Again, it also depends on whether or not you have enough money to live on res, because I know that living in anywhere in Canada is going to be expensive. So, you know, it's definitely a case-by-case basis, but we want to hear what you guys think as well. What are some benefits to living on res, and what are some of the cons about living on res? I don't know what Benson actually thinks about that.
Yeah, so I actually commuted for a bit from my house in York Region all the way to downtown Toronto. Well, commuting is, I would say, relatively cheaper compared to living on res, but you want to make sure, you know, how you want to spend that time and how you want to allocate that time. And just I want to point out is that if you do commute, a lot of the transportation networks have student discounts and student pricing. So if that's more financially sound for you, I highly recommend you look at how each, you know, the trains work or the bus or the commuters, the commuting situation is for your town.
And please comment on your experiences living in res. Have you had a good experience, bad experience, or a funny experience, anything at all? Please comment or post on the forum.
Yeah. So our next user is asking about summer school, a very popular topic on our forums. So grade 11 student here. I'm thinking of doing advanced functions in summer, and I want to know if that's a good idea. I've read that advanced functions in summer school is terrible because they skip over major concepts that are useful for calculus and vectors, which I plan to take. I should be fine math-wise, but I want to know if that's a good idea or to do grade 12 English instead. So my recommendation is that you want to look at your own specific math abilities. You know, if you think that you can do a compressed, 1 month math program in summer school, I highly recommend that. But if you think that your abilities aren't that strong, maybe doing it full-time for a semester is better for you. And you want to remember also that summer school doesn't have the same support networks as your normal school life. Teachers might stay after school to help tutor you, but in summer school, a lot of it's very quick, and sometimes you have to self-study, and if some teachers skip over some minor topics, you want to make sure that you catch up with them at home yourself. So I recommend that you also look at what kind of program you're going to. If it's math heavy or very math specific, you want to maybe take it during the school year and take, let's say English, unless you're doing an English major or humanities, then you want to do that outside of summer school. What do you think? Have you taken summer school?
I have actually, yes. I took grade 11 English in summer school. I did find it quite compressed, and I think it would have been difficult for me. I'm not a very math-wise person, so it would have been difficult for me to really get to grips with something very complicated like advanced functions. So I recommend trying to use the full time if you can. Yeah. If you're in some sort of, it's a case-by-case basis. If you're in some sort of a time crunch, then circumstances arise. But I think Benson's advice is absolutely on hit the nail on the head.
I remember taking summer school, and it wasn't a very pleasant experience. It was very heavy content-wise. So if you have your own experience with summer school, I recommend you comment below. And remember that we're giving out 3 Starbucks gift cards, so your participation is greatly appreciated.
So we'll move on to our another question. I just got a rejection from the Honor Arts program at Waterloo, and I'm pretty bummed about it. I emailed admissions a month ago, and they gave me a response, and they said that I had a chance of getting in, and for my low marks, I could just take summer school courses in order to bump them up. Their question is, should I just accept the fact that I didn't work hard enough and apply again next year? I heard that from my dad that it's not good to apply to the same school again, especially if you've already got rejected from them once. Is that true? I haven't had that experience, and I don't know anyone who has. I don't see a reason why perseverance, when you want to do a program, would be a negative thing. I think that, like I said before, I think that if you want something enough and you put in the time in order to get it, I think that's that's a bonus in your favor. I know that universities will look very kindly on that. So what do you think, Benson?
Yeah, I just want to make sure that you're understanding what kind of program it is. If you really want to go there, you should try again next year for sure. Maybe consider upgrading your marks. Staying in high school for an extra year or for an extra semester, boosting marks, and then applying in the next cycle. And you also want to be aware that each year might be different. The average next year might be lower, it might be higher. It really fluctuates, and if you try again, I'm sure that you'll see success.
Yeah. And we want to know what you guys think. Have you had a positive experience or a negative experience with perseverance? Please comment below or in the forum. Either way is good. We will try to look at them as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm. Our next user is asking about conditionals again, a very popular topic on our forums. I have 6 courses, so all my courses are required. Unfortunately, I got a 60% in one of them, while everything else is okay at 75 plus. The universities I apply to don't want any mark below 70%. Could I possibly take summer school to upgrade that mark? Well, you're in a bit of a sticky situation here. Each university has their own policy in regards to extending the date you can send your marks in. Depending on university, some will not let you extend that date, and they'll just straight up revoke your conditional offer. Some will allow you to appeal. That's very important. Appeal that process, and you can extend that day, and you can do private school, you can do summer school to upgrade the mark to make sure that you meet that conditional. Just be aware that this appeal process might be denied, and in that case, you will lose your conditional offer. So make sure you contact your university and the specific people that are in charge of conditional offer, and ask them, what you can do and what you can do to appeal if that process is available.
That's great advice. Our next question, our final question, I believe, it comes from a grade 11 student who originally wanted to go into architecture, but their cousin told them that after they graduate, there won't be many job opportunities. Their question is my cousin right about employment, or should I just try to pursue it? Before I answer this, again, if you want to pursue something, I fully encourage you to do so, but if that doesn't set your mind at ease enough, a report from the Government of Canada called Explore Career Support, and don't worry, we will be posting all the links to the resources that we have mentioned. They say that the outlook for 2016-2018 is expected to be good in terms of employment. So job opportunities for architects are all over the place. There's new developments going on for the infrastructure in the city, and there's a population growth all over the country. So they are building condominiums and houses and all sorts of stuff. There's a lot of work to be done. Benson, what do you think about this?
Well, job opportunities for any sector and any profession will change, in the next 10, 20 years. And it's hard to say, what is good and what is not good to pursue. I think that in university, if you really like that program, you'll automatically do very well in it. That being said, though, if you choose something that you don't like and you pursue it, obviously it's going to be 4 years of time that you won't really enjoy. So if you really like architecture, I highly recommend that you pursue it and enjoy that 4 years of university. And congratulations.
So we want to know about your career goals as well. Have you been discouraged from pursuing a career? Did that affect you? Have you been encouraged by a family member? Please comment below, and don't forget, we are giving out gift cards to Starbucks. So please comment below. I believe that's the last question that we have for today.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for joining us. Please join us again next month. We'll be doing the exact same thing. Make sure you like our page and sign up to Iconic to ask questions and post in our forum and get your questions answered. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.